Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare. I can hardly believe it either. On the other hand, Kazuma is in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. Something awful has happened to Judge Jigoku. I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. Strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. In the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Fortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options. Well, we got a bunny. Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Rather, one last ear. Of course, little Mr. Sholmes doll. We are just about out of options. Perhaps now is the time. What should I do? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's pull, why not? Here goes then, I'm gonna do it. Ow! Sholmes? Here, my dear fellows, here! He's inside the doll! Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off. Sholmes, why are you on the boat? Myself and my trusty partner. Presently, the first-class cabinet of the SS Gross. The SS Gross? She left over last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. We're currently docked at Dunkirk, due to be underway again in half an hour. Taking ship to France? Please, even my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station, and by train to the port, in order to board this vessel in time. Figured out the steamships where everything took place? Mr. Narhoda, pray, what is my name? Herlock Sholmes, the world-famous great detective. Cited to perfection. Well done. Genius, Mr. Sholmes. That's the only word for it. Ow, ow, ow! Mr. Sato, gently with the geniuses here, please. If I may, Sholmes. Oh no. We're playing as Mikotaba! You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Gross. Scotland Yard yesterday when I examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship. Ah ha ha ha! But of course it was, my dear fellow! Not once did I controvert that fact. We had our court-bound companions under my name. Yes, you did, didn't you? Just entered a recess. Trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. We're unable to present any new leads then. Afraid to say. Do not fret, please. For precisely that purpose, my partner and I have made this journey. No doubt, we shall have welcome news for you within a half hour. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes, that would be wonderful. Until later, then. Yes, I'm hearing from us if you're not in touch first. Ow, ow, ow! Shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in that mindless fashion. Never was the idea behind making a receiver up that operated in that way in the first place, Sholmes. Why the deuce would I know? It's Iris's invention, not mine. So what's Iris out there investigating? If these two are on a boat in France... We'll conclude our investigations rapidly. We shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Yugataba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. Hey, look! This looks like a beef stroganoff. Why you are loitering here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? Do you have Holmes's name on your thing? You have Sholmes' name written on your arm! Alright, Technic Stroganov. Or detective. Ha! I don't think so. Why is my name on your arm? See that, Mr. Mikotaba? Chicken Stroganoff. This man is a devoted follower of mine. It is me. Is that a tattoo? That says Sholmes? Such adoration is flattering naturally. Does leave me a little cold. Salois. That's what it says upside down. What are you talking about? Leave. No! I'm stressing my loyal devotee knows only by my name and not by my appearance. I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman, currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikotaba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoku. There is no one with that name on the board. No, he purchased a ticket for passage. Ah, you mean Eastern Man. He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk. He said something about the emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? He's realized we're after him, has he? His cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please. No, I have orders not to let even mouse inside. Mikotaba, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area. Hello, chicken. Doesn't the great detective see that even sailors have ears, both left and right? Curses! The plan is ruined! Forget it, the cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside. Mikotaba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? The mere 5 seconds. Be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend. In your typical accommodating manner. How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? Need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man. So, the game is afoot! Ring, ring! Appear to be no alarm, though. All hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. Here goes, then. Pardon me in advance. You, what are you doing? We're at sea, that would be very bad problem. What's going on down there? Seaman Stroganoff, report at once. Sorry, sir, nothing to report. It was just stupid trick. No, not by me, by world famous. No, as I told you. Now, Sholmes, now! Done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Don't stand there, got my brilliance, Mikotaba, in we go! Oh, yes. Ooh. Somebody moved the painting! And stuffed something inside the tubey. Apparently, the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. His clothes on the floor there. There say she rose, without question. Seems we are just a little too late. It's by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. Ah yes, the wardrobe. Might as well check the wardrobe, I guess. According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in Asoki's wardrobe. Indeed he was. It was of similar size to this one. Ah, you must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow. Inside of my first facial meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. Experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. Only take a moment. No. I'll add some brilliant remark and open the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murderer. I'll just read about it in the speckled band. Alright, so he's in the trunk. Probably. It's locked. Seven-digit combination. With the exquisite glass, I must say. The ice hasn't melted. He's here! Ice, Mikotaba, ice! What opulence the first-class passengers enjoy! Chilled drinks! Could it be that the steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room? Well, it is a luxury liner, after all. They have enormous Yes! We got him! Culinary delights from all over the world. Suddenly, Mikotaba. The sight of you is making my mouth water. He's still here. There's a speaking tube here. Where's the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Indeed, so the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere. Nothing have happened in here that is for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or it could be to prevent snakes from entering. That's really become a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? Alright, let's get this thing out of the way. Rules of passage. No weapons in the cabin. Pets are forbidden. Mere punishments for stowing away in... There's severe punishments for stowing away in wardrobes and/or travel cases. I feel the rules have increased since I last read them. Probably just my imagination. But the fact that they're not straight on the wall, does that strike you? Maybe you're right. Probably just your imagination, though. That's right. What I always say, Mikotaba, there's nothing important about trifles. Probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off. Alright, now let's look at the real thing here, where the rules are supposed to be. This one's a different color here, you see? Indeed, what you've observed arises when a frame that has been hanging for some time is removed. Ah! Perhaps your friend is an art thief. There's a bold deduction worthy of a great detective, I'm sure. Very well be the elusive thief who's been plaguing France's galleries of late. I agree. Outline on the wall. He's inside the trunk! He's gonna get arrested for stowing away! I'll look at his bookshelf. Reading material. Classical literature and easy reading. Wow! There's no copy of The Adventure of Sherlock Holmes! Ah, you're giving them a book! Yep, that's his clothes. Yeah, Seishiro is a big guy. Wastebasket, what's in here? Aha! Paper! During departure, all crew members are required to assemble on the main deck for evacuation procedures. Uh-huh. Hello, chicken! You are still here! Able Seaman Stroganoff. I was beginning to think you'd never materialize. Now we're gonna have to do a great deduction. Of course, I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian proficiency far sooner. It's case because you played trick before. It's all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off, now! Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow. But first, there's something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally, the debunking of your deceit and the barring of the truth. Karoi? Kakoi? Afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jigoku has not yet left this vessel at all. And for another, my dear Seaman Stroganov, you know exactly where the man is even as we speak, don't you? How? How can you? Good gracious, Shoals, you mean you've worked it out, all of it? Nope, we're gonna have to fix it. It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join me for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning? What is this? Oh! We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Time is of the essence. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. Duh, that is what I said. Sadly, that was rather a clumsy lie. See, there's something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. Ah, yes, of course. I see you've noticed it too, Mikotaba. Then please, do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago? Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observation skills then, Mikotaba. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Sholmes, not 3. Why, of course it has, quite. Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. As I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe, and the answers become clear. We don't have to correct this course. He's recognized that he's... Oh, we can go a little further now.
Take that!
Of course it's the ice, Tom. Oh, he does palette! He does tap dancing! Perhaps he could have cleared away that glass. How curious, the ice shouldn't have melted, despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. Ah! It would appear the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With his well-chilled glass in hand. Get your mind off the refreshment, Shoals. Good job, Tom, you did it. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff? Well, I would say she will run from us. Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Are we correct in saying that these first-class cabins on the SS Gross are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? Ah, that's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door, and Seirishiro was. Yes. 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage, as I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret Mr. Jigoku has had to hide. What traces? I know nothing about this. Ah, this is news to you, is it, Mr. Stroganoff? Shows, what are you getting at? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm sure won't have escaped your notice. Something out of place in here? What could it be? That's the key to this, Mikotaba. Remnants of the dark deed that took place in here are being masked by something quite incongruous. Must say, I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Gotaba. No, quite. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we well know. Well, let's see if I can't uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow.
Take that!
Rules of passage. Ooh, he does that every time! It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were put there in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded. The firm was originally over here. The shape and size are a perfect match. Duh, you are right. When did frame move? Hardly the most observant crewman, are you, Mr. Stroganov? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. Grrr! Oh dear, that really seemed to have touched a nerve. So, Mikotama, why don't you lift that frame off the wall and reveal the blood stain from Gregson? A bullet wound! That looks like a bullet hole! What? Who has been shooting walls? I see, the projectile has been removed. Clearly the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Stroganov. Arg! I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I try to protect Eastern Stranger? Ah, so we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. Arg. Sure, we can get to the bottom of this in no time. Aren't you? Because that's some very noteworthy evidence that explains why you're lying for the man. Ah, you've been told to keep this pretense. It's clearly shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes. Ah, my dear Mikotaba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle. And I'm quite sure you'll see it. In fact, I'd put a wager on it. Glare at the fellow from all sides. Well, I can certainly do that. Chunky arms. Banknotes.
Take that!
It's almost too obvious for words. Quite. Universal language of the world. Money. Ah. And wager the Eastern fellow in question is Seishiro Jigoku, yes? Gah! So, I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs a crime has been committed in this cabin. The way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But... I believe you know, Mr. Stroganov, where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this precise moment in time. Ah, just like Biff, you follow the eyes. As always, Mikotama, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. Hell yeah! Pokemo Jam! And follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. That slight flicker of the pupils, minute delayed blink, nothing escapes my attention, even that which is barely perceptible. You could hardly call this barely perceptible, Holmes. The man turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious. So let your tapping toes decide, dear fellow. Gee, I wonder what he's looking at.
Take that!
Mikotaba is the sensible one of this group. You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? Ah! The truth is, Seishiro Jigoku is unable to escape from this ship in time, and is, at this very moment, doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. If he still has breath to take, for I fear he might be running dangerously low on air. Imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. It would be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. How? Are you forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code! Combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it. Ah, the Sholmes is the numbers! Yeah, Sporkles gets it! Short before Jigoku hid himself in the trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number code for the lock. I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stroganov. Gulp. No, I know nothing about the combination code. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. 56311045. How on earth do you expect me to? It's a 7-digit number, remember. Quickly now, we have little time. Ah, shoot. Okay, 5. Wait, there's no 6. Crap! Why didn't anyone write down the number? Okay, let's work from this end. S H O L M E. Sholmes. Let me review the source. 5231045. Yes. 5213045.
Take that!
Yeah! Click. That did it! It's open! You had to meddle, didn't you? Hi! You should know that hiding inside luggage is illegal on this boat. Well, Eugen, you found me now. Seishiro. Now we just need to send a telegram. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know. But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it? No, quite. I just wished it were some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me? Ah, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Sholmes. I've read stories of many of your exploits. Guilty! Excuse my manner, Sholmes. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion. Devil's in the details, Mikotaba. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion, who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without word to anyone when things turned sour. See, my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Seishiro, are you going to explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here in this very ship, by the Reaper of the Bailey. Yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind you. I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived at London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again. You decided to flee the capital without saying a word to me about it? Afraid so, yes. Of course, I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you. Somewhat surprising, I must say. What is? Well, first-class cabins aboard luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's worth a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. Oh, says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket, and here I am. Just seen for myself the obvious remnants of the incident in this cabin. You already purchased your ticket before we even docked at Dover, have you? Prevent anyone else from taking this cabin and seeing the evidence. Is that it? Eugen, I have nothing to say to you. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, the ship will off to its onward voyage and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have this, Seishiro. Take it. What is it? It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey! You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be. When did we get this? You came prepared then, Eugen. Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Sholmes? Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk. Gregson! Can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from something. But what? I have no idea. Look, I'm on his face. I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket it as a small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. It's for Gregson's watch! Young Naruhodo, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant, my daughter and your future wife. I look forward to having you as such a capable son-in-law. Welcome to the family. The subpoena has been served, my lord. Kazuma, you know something. During the past 30 minutes while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. Must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. Prosecution calls for an immediate verdict. No, the trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword. You should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. There can only be one conclusion. The accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? Far from it. There's still a crucial witness, from whom the court has yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible. The witness is already on his way, and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Seishiro Jigoku. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku, you found him? The investigation of every policing resource in the capital suggests Jigoku's already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess, at the port of Dunkirk. Thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes' famous deductions. Herlock Sholmes. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death. As long as Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness. We can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on the 31st October. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to education at this point. Prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today. Wow! That was quick. Good work, guys. We did it. Trial chapter is done. Are we actually going to investigate again? It's only been like an hour and a half. Is there really more investigation? I thought it was going to be all trial. What's happening? Please don't say investigation. Please don't say investigation. Please don't say investigation. No! God damn it! I am gonna keep going, but why is it another investigation chapter?